Scumbags, damn, thanks for tuning in for another installment of this GA Scumbags podcast. Coming off a very heartbreaking but very familiar type of loss to Georgia Tech. Duke falls short to the Yellow Jackets 27 to 18. Heartbreaking. I don't know how else to say it. Before we get into anything else, though, I do want to say something really quick because this is something that's been brought to my attention more than once recently. Side note here, for anyone who's wondering what the GA stands for in our name, it's short for general admission because that's where we set up and that's where like that diehard fans sit. I've had a few people recently be like, "Oh, I thought it stood for Georgia. I thought you one of you guys was from Georgia." I was like, "Nope. It stands for general admission." That's where our name comes from. It's the general admission scumbags. Go to any Duke home game and look at GA versus the seatbacks when Duke is on defense, and you'll understand why our name is what it is. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. Noah, talk to us about the Georgia Tech game really quick before we get into to numbers.
Well, as you guys, as we all know, we tell it like it is here. We have been considered the Paul Feinbaums of Duke football per 247, and I'm just kind of okay with that because at some point you have to be a little fed up with what you see on the field and what you've lived with your whole life. Duke did what Duke always does. They had a moment to yet again push the program right forward in the perfect direction. Everything going right. Injuries are kind of limited for Duke. We had guys coming back. The offense had been rolling. We thought we had found everything defensively as well the past couple weeks. Special teams had looked better. Just the overall vibe of the program had been better. Boy, were we fooled yet again. And blind faith is a son of a bitch sometimes. And as a fan, I fell for it as well. And then they brought me right back down the earth Saturday. And I tweeted this, and it's my main point of everything is we beg and plead fans to show up to these football games. We have our whole lives. We've laid it out for people that are on the fence about why they should care, why they should show up, why they should love Duke football. But there comes a time when you can't blame them for not wanting to be there every week. You know, there comes a time. And I've just kind of realized that. And if I wasn't a glutton for punishment and, if I wasn't so stubborn, I might miss a game or two. But I certainly understand a lot of other fans' premise now. And it broke my heart on Twitter to literally see Duke fans say like they weren't coming back
Yeah.
for a while. But that's just how it is. And I don't blame them.
Ugh. I said it during the game too. I said I detest the Duke fans who love Duke basketball and don't support Duke football. And then we have a game like this, and I'm like, well, I can't really blame them. I really can't blame them. Why would they want to be a part of? I shouldn't say that, but I really can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And like I had Duke losing the game, but going into the game, I was like, it's one thing if Georgia Tech goes in there and just beats us, but yet again, I'm pretty sure I put this out during the game. You can change the you can change the jersey, the helmet, the players, the staff, the stadium, wherever you want to, but it's just big game Duke is going to big game Duke. Like they're going to find a way to beat themselves. And Brent Key had the perfect strategy: do nothing and just wait for Duke to like screw up.
Implode.
Like it was, and it worked. And it's the kind of thing where, like Noah said, that was the most tweeted about Duke football game since we beat Clemson,
Ugh.
and not a single thing was positive.
Yep.
Like it,
And that's one thing too. Like people can paint us as negative however they want to. We would die for this. We love that team, everything about the program, but like you gotta be able to talk about like the necessary steps to see the program develop the way you want it to. And we're in a period right now where 0-5 the last 2 years against the top 25. We've scraped by teams that were bad. The Yukons, the Elons. We scraped past them. And we had a couple of good emphatic wins this year, like Cal, Syracuse, and State. And, you could consider State and VT good wins last year, but we haven't been a great, great football team when you step back and look at it. We just do enough, but that's never going to be enough to get us over this hump that
And
we've been stuck at for the last 10 years.
the counterpoint to that from a lot of like the old guard fans who complain about us being too negative is stop complaining. At least it's better than the way it used to be. At least we're not winning t two games a season anymore. And it's just like, how are you gonna, grow and get better as a program and as a fan base if you don't demand any kind of greatness from your program? Just being complacent and okay with mediocrity forever doesn't get you anywhere. You need to, expect and want more from your program in order to like go anywhere. That was just kind of a random side note. Noah,
I
sorry,
mean,
sorry to interrupt.
no, it's the truth. Like Georgia Tech fans, Georgia Tech's never started this hot before. They've never been ranked seventh like this. These people haven't seen this in their lifetime in the modern day of college football. But Georgia Tech progressively over the years has done what it's taken after Paul Johnson to feed into the program, to build the program up, to put the right people in the program, get the right players there, and to win these big games. As much of a big game as it was for us, it was for Georgia Tech. Somehow they were considered underdogs. They were going for 7-0, a top 10 spot in the poll. Huge game for them. They didn't come out and lay no fucking egg. They didn't come out and beat themselves. They played good football. They won the football game. It's just sickening after so many times of just playing bad football in these spots. It's like something's got to change.
Well, and that's the thing. It's again, like you just look at Manny's tenure here. Ole Miss is the only time where it's like, okay, they just beat the shit out of them. Like, and even then we didn't have a football team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No offense to the guys to say we weren't gonna do that. Like you go back to last year, SMU, Duke lost that game. First team ever to be like plus what 6 in turnover margin and lose a football game.
Yep.
Virginia Tech last year, we couldn't put them away. Tried to keep them in the game. Carolina last year, slept walk for 3 quarters in that one. You know, Miami played a great first half at Miami last year. And yeah, that was a really good Miami team, but still Duke just kind of went to shit in the second half. You look at this year, Illinois, we were moving the ball at will on them. Tulane, we just like special teams lost us that one. Georgia Tech, offense moving the ball at will, couldn't get points. The defense finally shows up. Like none of these teams, with the exception of Ole Miss, went into a game with Duke and just flat out beat Duke.
Correct.
Like,
The only
Hmm.
person who beat Duke in all those games was Duke.
and I'm not trying to discredit the other team. Duke lost the game and the other team won the game. But Duke did their fair share to give the other team ample chances to take the game from them. And
Yep.
that's the problem. Like Duke can't keep daring teams to be like, hey, oh, here's a 7 point head start without your offense being on the field. Good luck. Like
Yeah, good teams capitalize on that, and we witness it every time.
it's just, and we don't know what it is. Like it's
God don't know what it is.
yeah.
He forgot what he did. Whenever he put that spell on Duke, he was like, "Oh man, I can't remember what I."
He didn't bother writing it down because he figured he wouldn't have to come back to it at any point.
And here we are.
But yeah, like Noah said, the really my biggest takeaway coming out of that game, besides Manny being 0-5 versus ranked teams 0-3 at home, it's just I was like, where does Duke go from here? Your defense showed up, did everything you could ask from them. You know,
Yeah.
like Haynes, like Georgia Tech was a non-factor in the whole first half, and we look up and we're tied with them. Like we beat the shit out of Georgia Tech in the first half, and you look up on the scoreboard, it's 7-7. It's like if not that game, win.
One more thing to add on to Manny's record at home and the 0-5. Our average margin of loss in those games is 3 scores, 18.8, 19 points a game. That is awful. That is the bottom of the barrel in that stat.
It's none.
It's got to change. We gotta figure something out in those big games.
Well, luckily, and I tweeted this, due to the trajectory of both Duke's and Clemson seasons, this coming game against Clemson is no longer considered a big game. Therefore, maybe we won't shit the bed and beat ourselves. Um, all that being said, as painful as it is, let's get into some numbers. Duke had 441 yards of total offense. Almost like what that's, and then they had 373 in the air versus 68 on the ground. Was the running game either was it shut down or did we just not use it the right way, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, like Georgia Tech did a good job of like stopping the run when they had to, but it's also like we talked about it in the stadium, and I'll say it again. We just don't do anything creative.
Ever.
We don't try to like you know move guys around. Like look at Georgia Tech. They ran like the same 6 plays, but every single play a guy's in motion. Like they make it hard to figure out what they're doing, even though they do the same thing every time. With Duke, we all knew what was coming when we got the first and goal. We knew what was coming when we got the second and goal, third and goal, fourth. Like we knew what was coming, and like yes, eventually you can't just always rely on your talent to bail you out. And I think that's kind of where Brewer's at. We'll get into it more later, but like just certain spots where guys aren't touching the ball, long stretches without guys touching the ball going to the wrong players. It's just I think sometimes we just overthink it.
Yeah. And also just like like you said, it's the only run that game that we have is inside zone, inside zone, inside zone. We don't really ever do any like sweeps to mix things up. We don't do any like split back stuff. Never get under center, never throw an extra back in there to block, nothing. It's
Duke
always just
would
one guy lined up in the shotgun formation. I
Jonathan
mean,
Brewer would have a stroke if he tried to run a counter trap play. I'm convinced. Like
yeah.
a pulling guard or something, please.
It's
Well, look at
just
Georgia Tech had the one play, and I mean I know they don't run a lot of trick plays. Like I said, they put guys in motion, make it hard to defend and stuff, even though you know it's coming. They ran that one play from like the 30-yard line where it was what two down linemen and just Haynes King,
Hmm.
and like we're all like
Muddle huddle.
what the hell is this? And like Duke's like what the hell is this? And boom, 30 yards.
And all it was a swinging gate or muddle huddle or whatever your local Pop Warner coach called it, where you got three offensive linemen, quarterback, two O linemen out on each side. It's double screens, inside zone, or a double pass. I mean, there's not much you can do out of it, but you can be successful. And what they do, they ran the fucking pop pass up the seam. Like, it's the lack of discipline. And at this level of football, sometimes it's just like, come on, we're not Arkansas State. We're Duke University. Let's get things wrapped up here. So it's
yeah.
tough to see.
Georgia Tech had 376 yards total offense, 205 passing versus 171 rushing. They kind of had their way in the run game. Third downs, Georgia Tech was 6 for 12. Duke was 7 for 15. Mensa had a stellar day again, 32 of 44, 373 yards, two touchdowns and a fumble. Um, Shepard and Castle were both like good, not great. Shep had 15 carries for 50 yards. Castle 11 carries for 32 yards. The biggest thing in the run game that pissed me off the most was the one drive we got down inside the red zone. And, it's worked all year. I get it. Hand off to Castle up the middle for those short yard gains. Did it once, didn't work. Did it again, didn't work. How many? I mean, it's easy to dramatize it, but how many times in a row do they actually run that play? Do you guys
It
know?
was
Three or
it
four?
was it was three, right?
Yeah.
But and
It's
also like pick at like if out of every team on the schedule, what coach is gonna make the adjustment for Duke doing that all year before he plays him? Brent fucking Key, man.
yeah.
And you could have ran a toss and walked it in probably. But he
Yeah.
knew that's what you do, and he put 11 in the box essentially and just loaded it up.
Or even on the other, like the first drive when Duke had that fumble, they ran it with Castle up the middle like more than one time, and he ended up like fumbling it. It's or like the weird exchange on the handoff. It's just
Read
like,
option.
I mean, at that point, like even I know this. Like everyone knows what you guys are doing. Like we know they're gonna run out the middle with Castle. Throw them off. Do a little like a little lob pass. Like it's just a little quick. Oh my God, it's
Cutcliffe
so
did.
predictable. Yeah.
Zach Roper used to.
Yeah.
Um,
Ah, ah.
rec receiving game, Barkate was unreal. 13 receptions, 172 yards. Uh, where's that one stat, Tyler,
Oh,
where it's like he didn't have a single reception?
so from so at the 13:50, so 13:50 to go in the third quarter. So basically the entire third quarter. From that point on until 4 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the game, Barkate didn't have a target. Not a catch. He didn't have a target for almost essentially the entire second half. After dominating the first half, Nate Shepard started the game, had 5 touches for 18 yards on our first 2 drives, and then we went 12 straight plays without giving him a touch. Like, I yeah, I just don't. It's one of those things where it was like the plan going in was force feed Barcade, and then when Georgia Tech was like, okay, well, we'll just take him away. It's like we didn't have an answer.
It's like, oh, now what?
It's like we didn't try to incorporate guys into the game earlier. It's one of those things where you go back to the Illinois game. This is a great comparison. Like Duke is at their best when they're spreading the ball around, and that's not a that's not me knocking Cooper. Like he's wide receiver one, he should lead the team in receptions, yards every game. But when you get to halftime and one guy's got 9 catches and your second guy has two, it's hard to halfway through a game, go, okay, well now we need to try and incorporate Queso and Samir and Andrell and get these guys worked into a game. It's already halftime. Like it's baffling sometimes.
It sucks. Especially with how good of a season like Samir and Queso are having. Samir only had 5 receptions. Queso only had 3. Hazley's been good all year. Angelo Anthony is like barely gets any targets anymore. It's like why? It's like you're saying, Barcade's unreal. We should be feeding him, but then as soon as he gets taken out of the game, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's like we have 5 other guys who are more than capable of like getting fed the ball, and it's like, oh, we'll just start force feeding Castle every play. Um,
Hashtag Noah was right.
huh?
Hashtag Noah was right.
It's not even that, dude. It's just like, I mean, when Jonathan Brewer literally just has two coloring page, like just sheets of like cardstock in front of him and like 4 plays on each in bold print. It's like they're
And
gonna
Comic
know.
Sans.
Yeah, dude, like in Times New Newman 48 size font, and it's just play A, B, and C over and over and over. But I mean, you can't beat the drum any harder than we do, man. I just, like we've said it, we give Brewer his flowers when it's warranted, but at the same time, every time we've done that, we've said there's multiple things he does during the course of the game that just still make you wonder, like, man, thank God we're talented, like Darian's real good and some boneheaded play calls kind of resulted in really good results for Duke due to that. So, you
This is
know,
another. This is a, this is another friendly reminder, by the way, that if football field was 80 yards, national champion.
we're the '89 Bears.
I
I
was just
mean,
curiosity, by the way, just to put this in perspective, guys. Gardner Webb scored 12 against Georgia Tech.
we scored 18,
Temple
barely.
Temple scored 24. Colorado had 20. Virginia Tech 20. Wake hung 30 on them basically.
Wake should have beat them.
Yeah, Wake should have, and then we hung 18.
Little old Duke.
Where were we? Uh,
Landon
Samir.
push off King.
Samir had 5 catches for 69 yards. Queso had 3 for 39. You would think at that success rate with Samir averaging over 12 yards of reception and Queso averaging over 10, you would think, huh, maybe we could target these guys a little bit more. Nope.
Nope.
Nope. King had 3 receptions for 34 yards with one beautiful TD, pushed that guy to the ground. Shepard had 4 receptions for 30 yards. Andrew Anthony had 2 receptions. It's nice to see him. He got a nice little first down at one point. Hazley and Taylor each had 1 reception. They just completely took our tight ends out of the game, I guess, or we just forgot they existed.
And Jerry got hurt there too at the end of the first half. I
Yeah.
wonder if he was lingering injury or something like that.
Yeah, he went to the locker room a little early, and then Jake Taylor had the pass that he dropped that he tipped up to himself and then caught again. Just
That was
it
Got
was
insane.
Apex.
it was a cool catch. Don't be wrong, but it's like let's
Could have
just
got a lot more yards if you caught it and ran.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, Murgat, good game out of our guy. 11
Hmm.
tackles. Weaver had 10 tackles. Rivers had 7 tackles and 2 pass breakups. Rivers was eating. Um,
Hey, who wasn't eating?
yeah.
Highway 5, baby.
Oh, I was going with a different one. I was going to go with the guy that had like 15 tackles, 4 sacks, and an interception in his first time ever playing college football, and then we decided to put him on the field for 3 plays.
Oh, that's a complete yo.
Yeah,
That's a real deep conversation we're about to have, though. I know
oh
that's
yeah,
God.
coming up because
Oh, we're getting into
during
that.
the game, we were literally so mad. Like all of us were fucking red at one point in the second half. Like I mean, it looked like we were on the verge of like spitting like all over people, screaming for Elliott, man. But
That and then VJ clearly like unwell late in the
begging
second half. Just keeps leaving the game and they keep throwing him back out there. God forbid you put Bryce Davis out there, who's like 6'5", 260 as a true freshman.
like what if
God
we
forbid
lose?
he gets some reps.
What if VJ would have got hurt and we don't have him the rest of the year? You know,
Well, they would
all
have thrown him
because
back out there next week.
right, yeah, they shot him full of cortisone. You gotta go, man.
Uh,
But
so
yeah,
check
let's dive into that. Defensive rotations.
oof,
I mean, what were we doing? I mean, I wasn't asking him to start because I understand, but like about 6 total downs of defense for him.
after how well he played last week. I mean, he kind of single-handedly like took Cal out of the game and was just all over the place. His motor was unreal. Had a pick, had a bunch of tackles, had a couple sacks. Nah, fuck that. This guy's not touching the field.
Sit him on the bench.
Let's put injured, and this isn't a Trey Freeman thing at all. This is not a knock on Trey. It's a knock on the coaches for putting one-arm Trey Freeman out there over Elliott Chopper. Like, what are we doing? What are we? It's comical at this point.
I just, and like the other part that just kind of irks me is like, I understand that the cornerback room is pretty thin and young and everything, but like if one person consistently just keeps getting torched over and over and over and over, let somebody else get torched over and over and over and over, and then try again. I mean, what's the difference? I'd rather see somebody else besides five get burned every
What do
week.
we have to lose?
Nothing. It's Duke football. We've never had anything to lose.
Who is it? You or somebody else who said there's no way Musa Kane is worse than what we're seeing out of
yeah.
Kamari
That's
Robinson.
what I was gonna say. Who did Musa Kane piss off? Like,
Yeah, I
Dude has
don't
two
get it.
picks in 2 games.
He shut down Justin Jolly and just they were like, "Oh, thank you. We'll see you next year, man, when we play
Yeah.
state again."
Come back and try to get a scholarship next year. Um, yeah, that was rough. The first half, Duke's offense had 238 yards and 7 points. Uh, Duke's defense, 110 yards allowed in the first half, 3 punts, uh, and no points allowed in the first half. So it's 7-7 at halftime.
I mean, like,
Second,
shout out the defense in the first half. Like, they did everything they could.
Their second half wasn't bad either, really.
Yeah, like until the game got out of hand and they had to change their game plan essentially. Like they had Georgia Tech like shut down,
Hmm.
and we let's go ahead and talk about it. The first drive of the game for offense, Duke forces a punt. Offense comes out. It's like shit. Like we're finally gonna have that hot start that we've been wanting this whole time.
not so fast.
Uh-uh.
Not so fast.
Uh-uh.
And then we walk it down the field, get to the 5 yard line, 4 yard line. Was it first and goal, second and goal? What was
Third and goal.
it was first or second down or maybe third down, I don't know, but it was goal to go, and we run a read option with Anderson Castle and Darian Minta. The ball's on the ground. Not only does Georgia Tech recover it, I mean in stride, balls on the ground. We've got linemen still engaged, like trying to block. Balls on the ground. Georgia Tech, I don't know what position he was, scoop and score 95 yards to the house. Just And then the very next drive, how does Duke respond? Get all the way down to the 3 yard line, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. Manny finally is like, hey, let's go for it on 4th and goal right here. And I'll be honest with you, I still don't know what happened with the illegal substitution where they say Brian Parker went down for like 5 seconds. It was the quickest like get out of the game ever because there was a dog pile in the middle, and they make Parker go off the field. He tries to come back on. They send him back off. So then they throw a flag as soon as Duke is ready to snap the ball, backs him up 5 yards and kicks it, and we get a field goal out of that one. So Georgia Tech scored more than Duke did when Duke had the ball goal to go. But that field goal might have been a blessing because I'm not sure. I'm almost positive if we go for it on 4th and goal right there, it's the exact same play and we get stuffed.
Oh,
Like, so that may have ended up being a blessing in disguise, but it's still the problems that hurt us earlier. Move the ball, get to the red zone, and get nothing out of it.
Our red zone offense is one play, it's just up the middle to Castle. There's no creativity. It's like, I mean, how stupid to like, oh, like this one play has worked for like 3 games. Let's just always run the same play in this situation. They'll never see it coming. No,
Uh,
please, you have to mix it up.
Imagine if on 3rd and goal right there, we just ran a little bootleg with Minta and sent Landon King or Jerry or someone to the back corner. He'd have been uncovered.
how dare you try to be creative?
But he would have just been uncovered in that spot.
No, you guys don't get it. See, we have a running back who we call Baby Allstott. Get it? Because he's big and strong. It's hilarious. Why would we not use him, guys? You don't
Uh,
get it. It's White Castle. Anyway, and again, it's not a knock on Anderson. We all like Anderson a lot, but it's just like open up the playbook a little bit there. That's all we're asking. Um,
and we had that whatever the hell that one field goal attempt was where Cade lost 11 extra yards for us.
I remember when Parker Bame used to hold snaps. That was just a blue collar guy back there, never screwed up.
Shame he didn't have anyone to damn make the field goal for him.
Yeah, Parker Bame probably kicked for us too.
Probably
second
would.
half, Duke's offense has 192 yards, 10 points. A 1st and goal from that one that resulted in a field goal, a missed field goal, and a garbage time touchdown. So not a whole lot of interesting stuff going on. Duke's defense got tired. They gave up 275 yards in the second half, and they allowed 20 points. 132 of those yards and 14 of those points were allowed in the final 2 drives when they had to press and play a different style to force a turnover. Georgia Tech's first offensive touchdown came with just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So Duke was still in it until the fourth quarter. There's just
Hmm.
the offense was just, I mean, just digging in their butts, I guess. Like just had
Had
just
shit coming out ass.
yeah, it just disappeared. Um, like Tyler said, from 13:50 to go in the third up until just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth, not a single target to Cooper Barkate. Um, from the start of the second quarter to 4 minutes ago in the second, Shepard didn't have a single touch. Ugh.
And this is I'm gonna take the lead on this one because I've been very vocal about this. Georgia Tech, open the fourth quarter, they take a 3 point lead, we get the ball back. And what does Brewer have up? Like, how does Duke respond to Georgia Tech answering and taking a lead? First play of the game, Georgia Tech blitzes everybody at Mensa, and Mensa just throws it right out of bounds. No one even close to the area, didn't try to get out the pocket, intentional grounding. So now we're backed up, I think it was 2nd and 17. Mensa scrambles for 6 yards. That's fine. That's whatever. 3rd and 11. You're down three with about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Biggest play of the game. No offense to Jaden Moore. Jaden's probably going to be really good for us in a few years. He's quicker than fast. Why is he the guy that we're going to in the biggest moment of that game?
Because Jordan and Eli Panko were running
Like,
routes on the sidelines.
you've got Barkate, you've got Queso, you've got Samir, you've got Andrell, you've got Landon King, you've got Jeremiah, all these guys with so much experience, more chemistry. They've been on the field longer, and we just and sure, like Mensa underthrows the ball. If Mensa puts it on him, it's probably a touchdown. If it was a touchdown, it's still I don't like the decision to have him the guy we go to in that spot.
Yep. It's
Regardless
the
of whether
same print. It's the same principle as Brewer chucking that deep bomb on 4th and 1 for the touchdown.
right.
Except the opposite. It worked out, it didn't work out. But what did we say about that play call and that podcast? We all hated
Stop
it.
doing that shit.
Stop doing that shit. Damn it, man. Like, damn it.
Like I don't get why. And again, I'm not trying to make fun of Jaden Moore, pick on Jaden Moore, but with the guys we have on this team, game on the line, biggest play of the game,
Give me Iguodala.
like
We have Cooper Barkay, Angelo Anthony, Queso, Hagens has been having a stellar season.
those are
Hazley,
just
Landon King, even
Vance
Jake
Williams.
Taylor. Nah, we're going to Jaden Moore.
a redshirt freshman who's been on the field for probably less than 20 snaps this year. That's coming off a torn ACL. Let's go to him in a in the biggest spot of the game against a top 10 team.
Hey guys, wait, no, we were wrong. Cooper Barkay wasn't completely taken out of the game for 2 quarters. They had him on punt and kick returns.
Oh God, Jesus!
Well, like Gabe Infante in his bag, but
I
his
I,
bag's just like that really shitty, nasty plastic bag you see like on the side of the road.
I completely forgot about Barkay. That's how bad this game was. I forgot that we had Cooper Barkay returning punt.
I mean, it was it's
That was like the
it's
least bad thing going on, really.
Yeah,
it's like it's malpractice, dude. You've got an absolute demon on special teams. What are we doing? Watch Barkay like tear his ACL on a kick return or something.
oh no.
Oh, there it goes. It's happening now. And it'll be in Death Valley right in front of us. Size.
It'll be on the field next to Henry Beelin's arm and
Hey, we had a
uh
Henry Beelan sight in this.
Memorable factor, shoulder.
ugh.
We had a Henry Beelan sight in this game. By the way, Mensa got his helmet knocked off, and Henry came in and had like a 15-yard run.
That was
We took it.
sick, dude.
Didn't we take a delay a game too, almost, or like almost got a penalty, or did we get a penalty? I think we did.
Yeah, I think because we got the penalty because I think we thought the penalty would let us bring Mensa back onto the field,
Yeah, then it did.
and then it didn't. And everyone was like, "Well, now what?" And then Henry just like scampers for 15.
Well, that's the thing is like we're talking about those goal to go situations. Let's get creative. Let's do a wildcat thing. We don't even have to get creative. Just take
Just cut,
Mensa out and
just
put
cut,
Beelan under center.
A damn hand in.
Little QB sneak. Uh, Good God, Beelan's like 6'5", 230 or something. Have him dive up the middle. Jesus. I don't know.
Nope.
It's frustrating. Anyway,
Duke's gonna do.
look at this fun stat that Tyler gave us. Georgia Tech scored more points from Duke's red zone trips than Duke did. Georgia
Let's
Tech scored 7 points on our first red zone trip, and Duke scored 3 all day.
just let that sink in. When Duke got the ball inside the 20-yard line, got more. Georgia Tech got more points out of Duke's offense being in the red zone than Duke's offense got out of Duke being in the red zone.
That's the most Duke stat I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
If
like
there's ever a moment for that, so Duke,
We just found the
that's
winner
it.
right there. Yeah, that
That's
was
it.
it.
this whole game was there's no that's so Duke because this entire game was the
I,
perfect encapsulation of Duke football.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
love the next segment down there in quotes because it just makes me laugh so much when I read it.
Oh
State
yeah,
of the team.
So
with the
we're
bye week.
just past that. Oh wait, what, Tyler?
I was gonna say with the bye week coming up, we might no Clemson preview, so to get something else.
We are just past the halfway point of the season, and I feel like we're a couple weeks ago after that Tulane game, we said this is going to have to be like a come to Jesus moment for this team. I think this is also going to be another come to Jesus moment with this team. We got to figure out what kind of team this is. I'm sick and tired of being, as we call it, the gatekeepers of the ACC. I'm sick of beating the bad teams and getting beat to shit by the good teams. Not even that. I'm sick of shooting ourselves in the foot to the point where our foot is just like a bunch of meat and tendons laying on the ground
Like
against
trench
good
foot in
teams.
World War One.
Yeah, dude, I'm sick of looking like are shooting ourselves in the foot against good teams to the point where our foot is just like a bunch of ground beef lying on the ground. It's just like something has to change. This team is there's a and we've said this before. There's a different kind of pain with these losses than there was 15, 20 years ago. We have talent. Like these teams are too talented to be losing this way. There's just no discipline. Bad coaching, bad execution. It's tough. As it stands,
Well,
Duke
and
is
real
go
quick,
ahead, Tyler.
I want to touch on for everyone to keep saying this Duke team is too good stuff. It's like after a certain point, when you keep losing these games because you can't execute, because you don't have this, like you're just not a good team. Like you're a talented team,
Yeah,
you can't execute,
sorry.
you're not disciplined, and you keep losing these games. No, 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 not you, but like I keep seeing people say that, like, oh, this is a really good Duke team. They should be winning these games. They should be, and they're not because they're not a good team.
Yep.
They're
Good teams do the small things well. Duke
they're
doesn't do a single small thing well.
like Duke might be a top five team in talent in the ACC, but coaching wise, execution wise, discipline wise, they're bottom five, and like that goes into being a good team. So like it'd be one thing if it happens one time, but time and time and time and time again, dumb penalties, dumb plays, bad mental mistakes. The blame's got to go somewhere, and like it starts not to knock Manny, it starts top to bottom. Like something's got to change with how we're preparing for games internally, something in practice, pregame, something's got to be switched up. I sorry, Eli.
Oh no, it's all good. You're right. That's a good way of putting it. This team is not too good to be losing these. It's they're talented, yes, but good is more than just the guys you have on the roster. I like that. As it stands, we're 4-3, which looks pretty crappy. But when you consider we're still 3-1 in the ACC, you know, not saying like I'm happy with where we are, but in conference play, 3-1 is a hell of a lot better than 4-3 on the season. Um, our remaining schedule looks like this. We have a bye this week, then we're at Clemson, who's currently 3-4. We're at UConn, who's 5-2. At versus UVA at home, who's currently 6-1. At UNC, who's currently 2-4. And we end the regular season against Wake Forest, who's 4-2 right now. Um,
Yeah, they are.
hell, it was always the
It
Deacon
was
Deacs.
always Jake Dickert. Yeah,
Hell
we
yeah.
nailed that
It
one.
all comes back to Wake Forest.
It,
It
it,
all comes back to Winston.
football was born and it'll die in Winston-Salem, you know. Like that's what we do.
Tyler, Noah, you guys want to talk on the expectations for the rest of the season?
Well, I'd like to just say you got to get two wins out of this to get a bowl game. There's one for sure, one I feel like. That would be UNC.
I don't know.
They're gonna have to give us their all. Like they're bad. None of these other teams on the schedule are bad.
I feel better about UNC after we lost to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Had we went into UNC like undefeated, it'd have been like 2016 where they came into us, we had like three wins, and yeah, I feel better about Carolina after we just took a loss.
Oh, I feel good about Carolina too. Like they're absolutely trash, but you guys know how these games go. Like weird shit happens.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but I think we lose to Wake before we lose to Carolina.
Probably.
I also think the Nick Morris Bowl trap game, UConn started out a little slow this year, lost that game to Delaware, cost the Scums some money and some pride. But don't let it be known. Oh, Morris got the boys rocking up there, and they're 5-2, and they got a pretty winnable schedule the rest of the way out. Can make a little noise. UVA is good football team.
They are.
Um, they came back against Wazoo. Wazoo's not that bad. Wazoo had Ole Miss in a blender, and Ole Miss had to come back the same way UVA did. So I respect that.
I
Um,
don't root for UVA, but if there's a conference if there's an ACC team that I'm not mad about seeing them do well, it's UVA. Does that
well,
make sense? I don't root for
mhm.
them over Duke or anything like that, but like I'm not mad that UVA is having a good season.
and here's going to be the problem with the Virginia game. It's going to be very similar to this Georgia Tech game. Virginia's not going to give you chances to like take the game from them. Virginia is going to put pressure on you to execute and play good to win. Look at Florida State. Florida State made like three mistakes all game, Virginia beat them. Now, credit Florida State's a lot worse than we thought they were at that time, but like these
Oh
people
God.
capitalize on mistakes, and boy, does Duke give them chances to do it.
Imagine we beat Clemson and UConn, right? And like Georgia Tech's still undefeated, UVA's undefeated, but like Miami and Florida State have kind of trickled dick a little bit. And we're sitting at 3-1. Miami's like 4-0 in the conference. We don't need the tiebreaker over Georgia Tech. Big game Duke one last time on the season gets beat by 35. I can't wait.
You've seen the script, my brother.
Yep, I just read it.
But I
Jim
mean,
Phillips dropped the script when he was walking past us in section
Hey,
21. He
shout
dropped
out
it.
Jim Phillips. I gotta give him some respect. He was cool. Like when he walked past us and like, yeah, Scums.
he didn't have to acknowledge us at all, like when we were like yelling at him, but he gave us a little like wave. And
Yeah. And he was super cool at media day. Like he shakes everybody's hand, talks to everybody, and literally will out and say, like, if you need anything, he said find somebody with a badge and ask him, like cool dude. As much as we hate on him.
but like my expectations for the rest of the season, I just obviously you've got to find a way to six. I think the path is there. But like there's a world where 9 wins is still on the table. Like Duke can beat Wake, UNC, UVA, UConn, and Clemson. They can win out from here on. Will they? That's up to them. Like there's not a world where they can't beat everything. But there's also a world where like Duke could end the season at 5-7 if they fuck around. Like missing a bowl game is legitimately a like on the table if Duke doesn't like get their act together. Uh, like yeah,
We're not even gonna get to go
Oh
to the
man.
Wasabi Bowl.
Oh my God.
Scums can't even do Boston.
It's
God damn it.
patient is
that
not even about wins and losses at this point with this team. Just play clean football. Someone, God, please show some creativity somewhere.
what was it? You're talking about playing clean football and also mixing things up. I made this joke on one of our other episodes. I forgot what the context was, but you can't throw the curveball until you've mastered the fastball. You can't get fancy and exotic with your looks when you
Can't,
can't even guarantee that you're going to play clean. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks.
They
The
got a
thing
lot to
is,
figure
though,
out.
what was that?
They got a
No.
lot to figure out,
Yeah.
all
Well, like
around.
what you guys are talking about is like we just need two more wins. I don't want to become quote just bowl eligible, but with the way we're looking this season,
There comes a point where you have to accept it. We're right there at it. You're 4-3. You ain't getting nothing good.
yeah.
Like, I
And
mean,
also, it's like we need just two more wins to get to a bowl. I have no clue where those two wins could come from. They could come from Clemson and UVA, or they could come from like UNC and UConn. I don't know. I really
six
don't
and
know.
six feel. I mean, like you just kind of look at it right there. You're like, boy, 6-6. Duke beats UConn, UNC, but man, oh man, those other three ain't easy. We'll
Tyler,
see.
you still with us?
yeah,
All right. Um, let's see. Changes we want made over the bye week. Did we talk about this? Sorry, guys. I'm kind of scatterbrained for this episode.
Yeah, we've
special,
covered pretty much everything on that. I
special teams
feel like.
coordinator would be nice.
What, Tyler?
New special teams coordinator would be real nice.
Yeah.
If Vontae,
Standouts and breakout players to this point in the season. What can I say? Cooper Barkate, Nate Shepard on offense, defense, Chandler Rivers. Uh, I mean,
I mean,
shit. If he, be,
I don't know if you can consider this breakout because like BJ and West are really fucking good. Like they were good last year, but the years they've been having like together this year, I think is exceeding what we all thought they'd be.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Uh,
Breakout
team,
Curtis Cooper.
yeah,
Sorry,
Curtis Cooper.
he's
sorry.
gonna fucking roll one against the bye week now. Good job, Tyler. I don't know. I guess if I have one, Deshaun Stone's played really well in Terry Moore's place. He's got burned on a couple of deep passes, but like he's never been a huge pass coverage guy. But he's made a lot of tackles this year to save us from some disastrous outcomes on some plays. So defensively for a young guy, I would say him. Offensively, really like Matt Craycraft and Brian Parker for me. Those two guys have just been solid all year. The rest of them, like Jordan Larson too, has been really good. And then there's,
Yeah.
someone else.
And there's everyone else.
But yeah, biggest disappointment, I'd love to go first on this one. Manny
Sure.
Diaz. And I'll just leave it at that. I'm
Uh,
disappointed in the head coach. I'm tired of blaming everyone but him.
my biggest disappointment is Nick Morris. He hasn't shown up at all on the field the last few. Like Nick's got to get his act together. This is like ridiculous on a milk carton right now. Um, I just like it's. I don't know why we're paying him all that money.
He was on the sidelines with a coloring book this week. I don't know what was up with that.
And Connor Stallions Jr.
But like other than special teams, and I don't even know if they're a big disappointment because like I didn't expect them to be much better than last year because it's a coaching thing in that department. I just it's still got to be Brewer. Like he's got a talented offense, and I don't think our offense is scoring points as a result of him and his play calls as much as it is. They're just like there's
Going out and doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. Team MVP.
I, I'm
Is
not.
it too vanilla to say Darian Mensah?
I mean, kind of have to. Um,
Who else? I mean, who else is like top five in the country in like anything currently?
Nobody. I mean, no line. I mean, Brian Parker and metrics like for that position.
yeah,
Yeah.
Brian. I forget who had it posted. I think it was Liam Blutman. Uh, posted it. It was like Brian Parker hasn't allowed a quarterback pressure still to
Mhm.
like to date in this season.
I would
That's so
say
crazy.
BJ and Wes are equally up there
A
for that
tandem.
award as well. I mean, either of them. They're both just so good. It's hard to pick one over the other. Truly a 1A situation.
Yeah.
Or Trip and all the buttons he has to press it.
Trip Durham, you don't need to just suffer like this anymore, man.
My favorite fucking gimmick, man.
He's so good. He's so good. I was watching the recording of the game again yesterday. He's just so good at what he does. I adore Trip Durham. The one of my favorite things he does is when the opposing team scores a touchdown and he says touchdown Georgia Tech in like a super like almost like annoyed like tone, just touchdown Georgia Tech. Like just
Yeah,
I love it. He's the best. I love Trip to death. Um or you can tell when he's getting excited, like when Duke is like on a big drive and they're driving down the field, before they hit the 20-yard line. And you can hear it in his voice when he says where it's first down. He gets like progressively more excited and animated as he says it.
he actually gets into it. Like he's
I
ready.
love
Yeah, oh
that.
yeah.
Like against Carolina last year, he goes, where it is first down, and you go, Duke. Anyway, enough of the Trip Durham worship. Um, Record prediction the rest of the season.
7-5.
Over these next 5 games, either 3-2 or 2-3. I can't choose. Realistically.
I mean,
But like I said, I have no clue where those wins are going to come from.
I think we dropped one of Clemson or UConn. I don't know which one. I feel like we'll drop one on the road. I think we'll beat Virginia. I think we beat Carolina. The trickiest game left on our schedule is Wake Forest, and people can there are going to be people that laugh at that. Think I'm joking. They like they don't get blown out.
They're a good football team.
Like they play so fundamentally sound. They play hard, like nose the whole game. They're going to make you play till the whistle. Like play.
All those little things Duke doesn't do,
Dude,
Wake Forest will make you want to kill yourself because they do them so damn well. It's disgusting. Yeah,
like
it's just like, ah.
Wake Forest is generally the toughest. Like could be the trickiest game left for us. Like that, like 9-3 is certainly on the table. I just don't think it will be. I had us 8-4. So I'm going to stick with 8-4. We'll lose one of these. I'm trusting that something gets fixed during the bye week.
Why would you do that?
Well, I'm the resident optimist for
Yeah.
so
Tyler leans over to me during the game, and it was like the third quarter, late in the third, early fourth, and he goes, "You want to know why I'm so negative? This is why." And I was like, "I get it."
Yeah. Personally, I see us 7-5, lose to Clemson, lose to UVA, beat UConn, UNC. And Wake, I'm 50-50 on, but I'll give us the benefit right now. But depending on the Clemson outcome, I might change that tune to 6-6 and go 2-3 out of this gate.
Annapolis, here we come.
Oh, dude, Military Bowl bound.
Oh
Please,
my God.
Heading back home, boys. The Riley Leonard Bowl.
That's where we belong, really. We don't belong in the Gator Bowl. We
Win
belong in like the Military Bowl, the Quick Lane Bowl,
First
the
Responder Bowl
we're gonna get the military bowl against the like 10-win Navy team. That
and get just trounced.
yeah, it's gonna be bad.
All right, boys.
Yeah,
There we go. Hey,
Let's give the Scum gang your best bets for this upcoming week.
33-24 on the season. Get wrecked, haters. 6-3 on the week.
we are fucking
Um,
rolling this
we
year.
are rolling. I mean, like last week was a bit of a high, going undefeated. I felt pretty good, you know. I attributed to two of our losses this week. I'm coming back hot this week. Memphis, good football team, +4 against USF. Alex Galesh is out the door. USF's about to fall apart. NC State Wolfpack versus Pittsburgh. That's the most shittiest ACC game you could watch. But damn, Pitt ain't gonna beat State by 7 points. Give me the Wolfpack. I would take them outright, but take them +7. Texas A&M, Elko and Company, playing hashtag BCAC. Brian Kelly killed a kid.
Forget.
Never forget Brian Kelly has killed two people. A&M 2.5 point favorites. I got A&M by 10. Take the points. Maybe alt spread it 3.5, 4.5, something like that. Get a little better value. And then my personal money line this week, I've got the Missouri Tigers over Vandy. Vandy's in a letdown spot. Don't want to see them in the playoff. Not a fan of that program right now. They're everything Duke's not. So need that one. Give me Mizzou and drink.
Yeah, I'm again like like 90% of these picks we always agree with each other on, and I'm with Noah big time on the state one. Dave Dorn's never lost to Pitt. Like they haven't played much, but he's never lost to them. Memphis,
Yep.
I think Memphis was looking ahead and lost, to UAB. I just had UAB covering 21.5 because they fired Trent Dilfer. Hit on that one. Um, well, really, I don't feel like we've had many bad misses this year. That's the thing.
Yeah, we're
Like
keeping them close.
our misses last week, we had Boston, the Boston College pick against UConn. We were just blind faced that Boston College had to win a game somewhere. Uh,
Not happening.
the LSU pick. Um, I thought Purdue would beat Northwestern after Northwestern had a letdown spot against or Northwestern in a letdown spot. Speaking of Northwestern in the letdown spot, I'm taking Nebraska -6.5 at home against Northwestern. Comeback win for Nebraska here after Minnesota and PJ Fleck rode the boat all over their asses on a Friday night. Um, Going to the mat, death, taxes, and Akron to not cover a spread. So we're taking the Buffalo Bulls. Shout out Coach Lambeau -9.5.
Dude,
Um,
did you see quick little side bit on our boy Pete Lambeau though? That win they got against UMass was fucking insane. So shout out Pete Lambeau.
everyone was so happy UMass was gonna get their first win, and Pete Lambeau just not.
Absolutely not.
Gonna regret this one. Boston College +25.5 against Louisville. Louisville just beat Miami. Boston College sucks. Something's got to give in that one. And this doesn't make sense to me. Cal's going to Virginia Tech Friday night. Cal's plus money at like line, like plus 180. Um, I'm hammering that dude. Cal's the ugliest, best football team I've ever seen, and
Yep.
Virginia sucks. Um,
That was almost the one I sent you to see if you wanted scum bats. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, I'm loving that one.
Yeah, our money lines are good this week on our personals. I think Mizzou and Cal easily win. And I think our scum money line of the week is one of our best ones yet. Ole Miss coming down off of a tough loss in a high-scoring shootout against UGA. Lane Kiffin doesn't really lose back-to-back football games. OU, tad overrated. Texas kind of really showed what they were about. It is a rivalry game, so you got to chalk that up a little bit. But Texas comes out against Kentucky, who's as bad as we are, and barely scrapes by. Win's a win, but scraped. So I've got Ole Miss plus 160 at Oklahoma. Me and Tyler were talking about it. Lane train, we love him. We ride with it. That's free money, folks.
We love Lane, and I stand by. Moneyline Mateer is overrated.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, like the 33 and 24, 6 and 3 last week. I don't know where this is coming from, guys. Because by this time last year, we weren't even doing best
I,
bets.
I think we were like 17 and 60 at this point last year.
It was bad. So before we think of the mailbag, just a quick ACC recap of last week. Just talk about Louisville went into Coral Gables on Friday and beat Miami 24-21. Carson Beck 4 interceptions. Like
Hell yeah.
um ACC after dark. Stanford. I don't know what in the hell they're doing in Palo Alto this year. Florida State went in there and lost 20-13. Surprisingly, as of this moment, Mike Norvell hasn't been fired. He hasn't won a conference game in over
It's almost a year now.
games now. I think
Hmm.
they've lost straight in
It
ACC
was
play.
11, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, he's basically lost the season, like a whole regular season's worth of games in ACC play,
That's okay, Cliff. Late stage.
and he still hasn't gotten fired. So shout out to Florida State, give him an extension. Carolina went to Cal Friday night and looked like they were going to steal one. They were getting ready to score a go-ahead touchdown with 3 minutes to go. Fumbled it in the end zone. Cal recovered for a touchback and ran the clock out. Go Hill. Uh, keep Bill forever, man. SMU went to Clemson. I still think SMU sucks. Clemson just sucks more. Dabo's leaving this year.
Clemson sucks more until November 1st or sec
Uh,
November
Uh,
1st.
yeah.
Pitt and Syracuse. Pitt beat Syracuse 30-13. Ricky Collins is still the worst quarterback I've ever watched in my life. Like he makes Chase Bryce at Duke look like Joe Montana. Um, UConn beat Boston College 38-23. Boston College, I don't even know. Those of you that know talked about it, the UVA Washington State game. The game ended on a safety with
Hmm.
under 2 minutes to go.
That's so scummy.
That's a
But
Big Ten.
so here's how it happened. I was watching. Virginia scores a touchdown to tie it, and Washington State is going to field the kickoff. The kid receiving the kickoff doesn't call fair catch, but another player signals fair catch. So when that happens, they spot the ball where the catch is made, and it was on the 1 yard line. So the very next play is a safety for Virginia, and then it was curtains. So it was an interesting week in ACC football, and then of course Duke happened. So that was the ACC, and like I said, well, Eli, if you want to get the mailbag going, I'm sure I didn't look at it this week, but I'm sure there's a plethora of
It's a
sadness.
good, it's a nice girthy little bag. Um, we're gonna kick it off with our buddy Timothy Gonzalez.
Oh God,
Oh no, wait. He didn't. Okay, he has two. It was a tough loss yesterday against GT Tech, and I see people on X saying they will stop watching and supporting our Duke football team, and I don't want to see fake fans posting when we start winning. Be here when we're losing too. Hashtag Duke gang. Hell yeah, Tim. Hell yeah. In a world of,
I feel like that was directed at me.
yeah, in a world of us, be a Tim.
Be a Tim.
He also adds, plus Florida fired their head coach. Also, there might be more news coming this week, including decommits.
Thank you, Tim.
Well, the walls are talking to Tim. So, Tim, once you hear about those, let us know.
We start bringing Tim on for a weekly coaching carousel segment.
Oh my God. I
It
would
would
love
be
nothing more than have Tim on this podcast.
we would go so viral if we did him coaching carousel like once a week. That'd be so sick.
That'd be awesome.
It's just him going fireworks, Florida.
Yeah. The walls are talking to Tim. Dude,
It's just something ESPN.com put out 3 days ago.
Uh, our friend Lane Phipps says, I'm blaming this loss on just bad luck playing Georgia Tech. The weirdest things always happen when these two teams play. Uh, y'all's statement on Duke having the best offense in the nation from the 30 to the 30 absolutely rang true. We don't tell lies on this podcast. Time to start chucking the ball to the end zone from the 35 every drive.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
pretty
mean,
much.
remember that play? I don't want to do it on fourth down every time necessarily, but that play against State when it was like 4th and 1 and they bombed at the barricade, just do that. Um, thoughts on that?
No,
I,
I agree. We just don't lie. Like you said, like man,
I'll
we hit the nail on the head
Maybe we're
here.
negative, but we're not wrong.
I'll touch
Yeah,
on the first comment. Like, yeah, weird things happen when Duke and Georgia Tech play. If this wasn't the third time something like this had happened, I'd say, yeah, sure, it's bad luck. But that's the third time something like this happened to Duke in a big game this year. I guess it's not bad luck. They're just not a very well-rounded football team.
truth.
Um, our friend BSBO underscore 1844 says, born too late for Scott Norwood, born just in time for Todd Polino.
God, he's funny as hell, man.
He's a good
Shout out
kid.
BSBL for keeping our stat sheet updated every week too. It's
He's a good kid.
good stuff, man.
Our friend Jousies just says, gonna kill myself. Well said,
Yeah,
Jousy.
open the government back up. Jowsey's not getting paid right now. We're not going to get any more political than that right now, but he's a hero. He directs flights.
He's a first responder. He's the only first responder in our group chat.
So stay tuned for the Scum Fund Me. If they don't get our boy
Scum fund
Jowsey
me.
right, you know what I mean? It's bullshit. He's landing those planes with his bare hands, blue
Hey man.
collar.
He's holding LAX together. Friend Sam at Bleeding Duke Blue, he says, I need more than 140 characters. I'm not suggesting field goals were the reason we lost yesterday. I'm glad because they weren't. But I think the conversation needs to be had. At any point, do we consider giving Ashton Zamani a chance at kicking? Or do we ride with Polino, then let Strange slash Zamani compete next year? I'm sorry. Are we engaging in Cosme Salas Eraser right now?
I
Is that
said
what
the
we're
same
participating in right
thing
now?
when I was trying to like read these over earlier and prep a little bit. I was like, have we not heard of the fucking cannon out there, man? Like, what?
Highway 39?
Oh, and I'll say this: I'm not sure. I mean, we're at most of the games. Todd's had his struggles, but I'm not sure how much of this year is on Todd after watching the number of just bad snaps and holds we've had. The one he missed, that one he missed in the fourth quarter was he just missed it. Like, and by the way, this doesn't like make a difference. I think it was a dumb decision to kick it there. Like, you need touchdowns to come back and win the game. Just go for the touchdown. But like, I think the kicking issue lies deeper than just the kicker. Again, Todd's had his struggles, and Todd's not free of criticism. But like, if you can't snap and hold the ball, it doesn't matter who's back there kicking.
Yeah. Let's see. I lost it. Timothy Go oh, wait, he already said that. My bad. Duke of QP says, I have a concern. I'm a Duke football fan. What should I do about this?
There's not much you can do, man.
Write it out, man. We don't
Or don't,
belong with the rest of society.
or
We're mentally
don't.
ill.
Yeah, or don't if you prioritize yourself any and or don't. But we're not gonna quit though, because we don't. We will ride this shit out till the day we die.
Sadly,
Uh, I wish you guys need to start when you're gonna leave two questions, leave the second one in response to your first one. Don't
Please
leave
do.
us a question and then have a separate question, like a separate reply that says also, because then I have to go find your first one so I can read that one first. Jason Rogers asks, can you guys please explain why football coaches have these outrageous buyout clauses in their contracts? This seems to me that this hurts the team because the athletic department has to come up with this amount. It doesn't seem fair. One more question. No. One more question. Cash made mention we have on the team now, or we have a five-star kicker that's coming in next year. Please expand this question.
Yeah, there's like a five-star kicker coming in next year, but that's the position that matters the absolute least at. Like they pretty much call themselves that. Like I don't even think people like they get deemed that by like ESPN or something.
I mean, like I said, like as far as the kicker thing goes, it doesn't matter unless you can snap and hold a football.
Yeah.
Um,
Charlie Ham was a 5-star.
as far as what was the first part of that question? Oh,
The first one was about like why do coaches have like, such outrageous buyouts?
I mean that's just the sign of the times. Like there's more money coming into the sport than ever, so like the contracts are going to increase and become more. And like from a coach's standpoint, you're going to want to have a higher buyout, make it harder for you to get fired. That's more job security.
Yeah, it's true. Um, our friend Chris at Blue Devil Quaker, which is more fun, rooting for Duke football or jabbing splinters under your fingernails, and why is it the splinters? I personally am a fan of ripping my fingernails out entirely. When we have a bye week like this one that we have now, I like to just sit in my recliner in my apartment and just rip my fingernails out. That's what I do because it simulates the experience of watching a Duke football game.
Yeah, I mean, that sums it up perfectly.
Uh, let's see. Why is the Duke off? Oh, sorry. Kevin Adams asks, why is the Duke offense struggling so much in the red zone?
Been saying it since week one. I guess there's not a simple. Well, there's a simple fix. It starts with the play calls, but
Yep. Our friend Milo, not going to bother with questions about the game because you guys know what I feel like. But my question is, if you could put one Duke player or coach from history on this team, who do you choose and why?
David Cutcliffe
Speak your
in
truth.
his prime. I'm gonna pick that every season for the rest of my life, dude.
I was trying to go with something. Yeah, I mean that's the given.
Steve Spurrier. Tyler said no.
We just need somebody that can teach fundamentals, man.
I'm gonna go the player route. If you can put up one player on this football team, I'm going completely healthy Mark Gilbert.
Yeah, that would be a game changer.
Like a non-injured Mark Gilbert.
To
I
help
would,
the secondary out.
yeah, like because Mark Gilbert, got hurt, would have been a like all pro.
Yeah.
First round pick, like top 15 guy.
I like what Noah said about a coach. I like that angle because like we talked about on this pod, it's like we have the talent. Like what makes a good team? It's not just a talent.
We've
That's
got
Yeah.
what the
great.
it's what the talent does.
We've got the
Uh hey,
grades.
speaking of the greats, shout out Ross Cockrell. He was at the game this weekend. It was great seeing him.
He
Plenty.
did not say the same about us, man.
Shout out
Wait,
to
did I miss something?
No, I'm just joking about like the whole thing at Tulane.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'll come back, bro.
Yeah, he was like, I'll come back. He never came back. I did ask him though. I had a few drinks at the tailgate, and then we went to the Blue Devil Walk, and I saw Ross. I was like, Ross, saw you at Tulane. Why are you wearing green, man? He was like, I just made a mistake. I wasn't thinking. Uh, but again, back to
I have an answer to that one real quick about the coaching, and I think Noah will agree with this. Bring back John Latino.
Oh yeah, I love John. I'd love to get him on this pod.
Beast. But yeah, the coaching thing, it's like we were talking, we have the talent. I don't feel like the situation this team is in right now. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Like adding more talent would obviously help. But I don't think the team's issue right now is a lack of talent. I think the team's issue right now is a lack of like discipline and coaching. That's why and I assume Noah's the same way. That's why I opted to go with a coach instead of a player for this
Yep.
hypothetical scenario.
Shout out
Uh,
Milo though. It was cool getting to meet him.
yeah, it's nice to it's nice to have him around. Fresh
The
meat.
scums are growing.
Steve Crane says Duke attempted 44 passes. Georgia Tech secondary committed zero penalties during the game. How did Tech's biggest liability somehow become perfect, and why should the ACC investigate this crew? I looked through all of Georgia Tech's box scores, and I didn't see a single defensive pass interference or defensive holding call on them this entire season. This may be the most impressive stat for any team this year.
I mean, they're a well-coached team, and okay, Duke threw 44 passes. We completed 32 of them. Are we really going to bitch and moan about 12 incompletions and the fact that we had 400 yards of offense and 18 points?
Hmm.
Yeah, looking at the wrong problems when we start blaming the refs in my eyes.
Like, were the refs in the second half making some questionable no calls and calls? Absolutely, sure.
Oh yeah.
Should have been up 17 to nothing minimum at halftime, and then the second half doesn't matter.
Yep.
Don't put your spot in a position for the referees to affect the outcome of a football game.
That's
Hmm.
exactly it, dude. It's just like I'll never, and I know you guys are the same way. I'll never be the kind of guy to be like, oh, the referees are the reason we lost this game. If you're playing sound on a football and you're like playing the way this team should be playing, you shouldn't be in a position where some missed calls or bad calls by the referees are going to determine the outcome of the game. If you played well, if you capitalize on 500 yards of offense, then you wouldn't have to worry about shitty no calls. That's just the way it is.
Just go back to the second drive of the game. People can get mad, and I was mad about it. Like the illegal substitution that backs us up
That
5 yards.
was so stupid. That was so stupid.
It's like, but guess what? We had three chances to get 1 yard before that and couldn't do it.
Yep.
Like you needed 1 yard, you had three chances and couldn't get a yard.
Yep.
Don't put yourself in that spot.
Last question, and this is the first time I think he's ever engaged with our pod, so it's good to hear from this guy. Brian Kennedy from Section 17 Media asks jokingly, when will President Price and Nina be on to go in depth about the discussions that the Scums had with them during the game about the future of Duke football?
All
So
right. All right.
I don't, I wasn't taking part in the yelling,
I
but I
was.
remember, no, yeah, it was mostly Noah the whole time.
Me and
Noah,
Milo, man. And then
Noah
that
filled him
little
in on what was being
kid.
said.
So we all know what's going to happen. He's not going to Penn State. There's too many open jobs other places. But then also there's the chance maybe he's just not good enough to get those jobs. But say Duke finishes this season 8-4, Manny Diaz is gone. Jimbo Fisher and the ACC huddle were on campus. Nina, we met a couple of times. Always great, always cordial. President Price, same way. Real
And they're
nice.
brave because they
Yeah,
roamed the sidelines
right in
during
front
the
of
game.
us.
They're
And
brave.
so, I jokingly, yell out, Nina, Nina, we know the writing's on the wall. Give Jimbo a blank check. Just scream, nothing crazy or like bad.
Inappropriate or
Well, then,
mean.
shout out Milo. He gets in on it, a couple other people start yelling. It was a good time. I didn't mind yelling that stuff because it kind of is something that's, a part of football games and, bringing it up, kind of made us a little more like a football school, it felt like a little bit, yelling at the AD. But no, Nino, we love Nina and President Price, but, we think there's certain ways this season can go. And, I personally, we've discussed quite a few of those outcomes, and I think Duke will be in great shape regardless. But there's a world where Manny isn't here next year, and Jimbo Fisher and a blank check with a little Jason Garrett GM, man. I mean, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
Jason yearns for Durham, man. We talked about it last week.
He yearns for Washington Duke in, man.
Did uh did Sweet Bentley not ask a question or leave anything this time?
God,
He
Bentley.
must not have. His
He hates
mom,
us.
His
His
mom took
mom took his Twitter.
yeah.
yeah.
No screen time on Sundays for Bentley.
She made him leave the group chat.
Never mind. Yeah, no, guys, sorry for a long-winded, mostly actually completely negative episode. It's just we said it to you guys earlier in the pod. We might be negative, but we're not wrong and we don't lie. And
Yeah, and nobody could shit talk us because we'll be at Clemson cheering our asses off, tailgating our asses off, and literally laying it all fucking down to get hurt again. Like we're not Two-Face fans. You know what I mean?
we would be
Now that
driving 10 hours to Jacksonville, Florida to a bowl game where we know we're going to get the brakes beat off of us if we didn't love this team and care about this program. All that being said,
Yeah, I'm
thanks
just
for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Keep your heads up. Tomorrow's a new day.
or don't.